we're trying to find a local place to eat because we like supporting local businesses and finding those little side shops that sell cheesesteak subs or something, one of those type of things.
It's something different we haven't done before.
But
it's like
nothing's jumping out at us at the moment.
Yeah, and everything back there was either closed or we couldn't find it.
So we'll figure it out.
So yeah, that's what we're doing.
Right.
So when we find a place to eat, we'll let you know.
See you in a bit.
So we found a place to eat, and it was called the Backyard. And we're in what, Milton?
Yeah, we're just on the outskirts of Milton. We're really close to US 1. It's just a couple miles up the road.
And I gotta tell you, that was really good. Let's start with the restaurant itself. I can't pinpoint it. Like, I can't tell you it was a diner, and it definitely wasn't a fast food restaurant. It was kind of like a high class, like a higher class diner with the name of the place is Backyard, and it makes you feel really comfortable. Like you're almost like you're sitting in your own backyard. Like, it was very quaint. It was very simple. It was done very well. But it was like a modern. I can't even describe it. Like, it's really hard to describe. We did take some pictures, so we'll insert those. But clean with it's kind of like a beachy feel. It was small, but it wasn't. It was a very open concept, so it was nice there. It was very bright. So it was clean and bright. I mean, I don't know what your take is on it. I can't tell you it's a diner. I can't.
Yeah, well, let me tell you my take on it. You got Bob Marley playing in the background. You got Jamaican music playing in the background. It's got all the colors. It wasn't even a teal. It was more of a beach blue. It was a beach blue, I guess. But it was clean, and going into a little side restaurant. And when we say diner, don't think of like fluorescent neon lights diner, typical aluminum outside. That's not that kind of diner. It was the menus evolved. The menus were simple. They kept it simple. One menu was just front and back was breakfast. One menu front and back was lunch. And so, I mean, the sandwiches and the foods that they're making out of passion because
they're different. It's not stuff you'll find. It's not your typical burger.
No,
it's not your typical club sandwich.
I got a sandwich called the Trucker, and basically it was pulled pork with macaroni and cheese. Coleslaw on it? I don't even know. I don't want coleslaw, but there was one or two other things on the sandwich, and it was on a grilled. I want to say it was a sourdough.
It wasn't a bun.
Or kind of, it was like thick like a Texas toast. You can make it right, but it was absolutely toasted perfectly. The flavors got along perfectly on a sandwich. It was just great. It was a good sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. And it had a side of fries, which were actual hand-cut fries. It wasn't no frozen stuff that was reheated up somehow. It was actual hand-cut fries that was actually prepared. I would give it a 9.5. I mean, it's way up there. It's way up there in the chart. The closest thing I can attribute it to is it was like a quesadilla. It was in a tortilla. It was one whole tortilla in half, and it had grilled chicken, bacon, Gouda cheese, and spinach in it, and it was so good. Like, it was the flavor combination of those four things. It had something else in it too, but I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of an aioli dressing in it, and I'm pretty sure it was an aioli, and it was really good. Like, all the flavors went together so well, and it was different from anything I've ever had. Like I said, it was like a quesadilla. It was made like a quesadilla, but it had the chicken and the spinach and the Gouda cheese and the aioli in it. It was amazing. It was really good. Again, the hand-cut fries, but then they gave you a pickle, but it wasn't your typical dill pickle. No, it wasn't a typical pickle.
It was half a pickle instead of a quarter, and it had to be a garlic recipe. So I'm not sure what brand they were using, but there was a hint of garlic in that.
than just a typical dill. And, you know, they didn't give you a bottle of ketchup. They gave you a little cup side of ketchup with your fries. They didn't ask you if you wanted ketchup. It came with your plate. You know, so it was like you didn't have to try to get the ketchup out. It was already in a cup waiting for you. You know, I went to the bathroom, and the bathrooms were unisex, so like there was 2 bathrooms, but anybody could go in them. It's just a typical 1 toilet bathroom. But they had art, you know, beachy artwork on the walls and cool sayings on the walls. Like I spent extra time in the bathroom just looking at all the stuff on the walls. And it was just really well done. I personally give it a 10 out of 10 because at this point in time, I can't find any flaw in it. Like I have nothing negative to say about it.
Yeah, and with that being said, we were sitting there we were discussing while we were sitting there eating and looking around the restaurant, what do we compare it to? And we can't define anything that we can compare it to. I mean, we say the word diner, but it's not a diner.
Just,
we say the word, it's
I can't. Like, it's not like your typical, like, you know, you're like your bar type restaurant that has the bar. It had a mini bar.
There was a mini bar in there.
Like 5 stools to it.
There was a karaoke set up there, so they have karaoke at night. And they have a bakery in there. And
they had a little bakery with even like a little specialty coffee section. I got pictures of a good chunk.
And Trish
of that.
has a mystery cookie because she said, give me a cookie.
I made the lady pig. I couldn't choose. There was like 15 different kinds of cookies that they were making there.
So I mean, we're just trying to define what it is. But when you look around, I mean, the floors were well kept. The tables were well kept.
It was clean.
It was clean.
Crisp.
I mean, you could tell that whoever operates that restaurant, whoever owns that restaurant, takes a lot of pride in it. And so they gain a customer because of that. Because Trish and I, being in the former restaurant business, you know, we know places to go to, we know places not to go to. Hands down, we would go back there again.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
We both enjoyed our meals. The atmosphere was nice. It's, you know, it was relaxed. We didn't record in there because, you know, there was people like 2 feet away, so it's kind of hard to do recording. You know, you don't want to bother the people that are right next to you.
But it was really relaxed. Now, we went there right after they opened around, what was it, 11:30ish or so, okay? Well, actually, they were open for breakfast, so they were open a while, I'm sorry. But, you know, they were basically, we could get breakfast or lunch there from the time we got there because they had both of them available. But it's just, it was a good, solid experience.
It was.
And I'm glad Siri responded and said, hey, try here.
You know, Backyard, it was called Backyard. That's what it was called. And it gave you that feel. It gave you that home, you know, but you think hometown country food, it's got a whole different feel than what I felt in there. And I mean, maybe it's because we're at the beach, because it definitely had that beach vibe to it.
Yeah, there was nothing that was sitting around marinating in the back that they slopped everything. Everything was hand scratch made. If that makes sense. I mean everything was specifically created.
Yeah, when you can say that the toast on your bread or the quesadilla in this instance was perfect.
And when we say perfect, it
was perfect.
I'm looking at Trisha's plate, she's looking at my plate, and I'm looking at my plate, and she's looking at her plate, and we're like, wow. It's like, it was just...
I just as possible. There was even little mini, they were this big, cactuses on the table. Who puts cactus on the table? I've never seen that anywhere.
Yeah, and there are plants. There were live plants everywhere in the restaurant.
It was a live mini cactus, no bigger than this. Just sitting there chilling with the salt and pepper and the sugar packets.
Yeah, and it wasn't like the table was overwhelmed with condiments either. It was a couple salt, pepper, and sugar. And there wasn't like a napkin dispenser or anything like that. We had napkin on the table, but it wasn't like there was a big hunkin' slab of napkins sitting there.
The other thing I noticed, and this is just looking at the lunch menu, as brief as I did, they had locally grown and locally like organic foods on their menu. So like they incorporated a healthier menu into a regular menu. So it was like a combination. Like you weren't getting all vegan and locally grown and organic, but you weren't getting all regular either. It was all mixed in. And it was like, you know, because the spinach I think was locally grown spinach, or, you know, it was really good. It was really, really good. So, you know, I give a 10 out of 10 to the Backyard.
Servers
I can't wait to go again.
Servers were professional. The music wasn't overpowering. It was back in the background, but it was mellow. It was just the way an experience should be in a restaurant, where you go in there and you have nothing bad to say. And it's been a long time since Trish and I have been to a restaurant that we've had absolutely nothing bad to say about it.
We've had good and bad, and we've had some good with a little bit of bad.
And I'm really trying to think of a place that we've been to, at least in the last couple of years, that met that criteria, and nothing comes to mind.
As far as a sit-down restaurant eating, no, I can't think of Mr. P's, but even Mr. P's, I think would probably be the closest. But that's a pizza place.
It's a pizza place.
It's not a regular restaurant.
And even with Mr. P's, while it's like the best pizza on the planet, you have to wait for it.
And they don't.
Sometimes
Mr.
Mr.
P's
P's
credit cards. You got to pay with cash.
Yeah, so I mean there are faults with that, but this place here,
I can't find fault yet. It was quick. It didn't take long to get our food at all. The only thing I can say is I want to go back and experience more and see if...
Yeah, because that was a snapshot.
If, they can keep it going.
So.
But yeah, so that's enough on our review of the backyard.
Will we go back?
We'll dedicate this vlog to that.
Will we go back? Absolutely.
So if you are in the Milton or in the Delaware area and you're looking for somewhere really good to eat that's different, like I said, I'm pushing 40 and I can't think of any other restaurant that I could compare to it. It just kind of stands alone as its own thing. And that's what you got to do to stand out. And
from a seating arrangement, it wasn't like it housed 100 people, because it doesn't. It's not that big of a place. But it's cozy. It's cozy.
It was... well, like I said, we'll insert the picture so you can see it for yourself. And I'm sure there's other people. And for being 11:30 in the morning, there was a good many people there. And there was a steady flow of people coming in too, so you know that it's good. If you go into a restaurant early and it's pretty dead and there's nobody there, then you know the locals aren't eating there. And you know that they're probably a hit and miss. But this place had a steady flow of people while we were sitting there, and of all ages. Not an older crowd. Like a lot of the good diners will get the older crowd, or that type of genre. But this was a very steady flow of people of all ages sitting in there, and they had everything to offer anybody. I mean, we could probably even find something for Lacey on that menu.
Probably.
So, but enough talk about that. We're headed back home to relax, I guess, and see what else we can get into today.
All right. Well, there's our review.
So, go ahead and we'll insert those pictures now.
Okay. Insert slideshow now. See ya.